Today's relaxed selection is And I Love Her by the Beatles. This was actually released as a hit single along with If I Fell, another song we've featured here on Song Mentor. What a back-to-back single as far as romantic ballads go. Actually, McCartney called this the first ballad he wrote that he felt really, really good about. And Lennon said it was McCartney's first Yesterday. There was some discussion, you would say, between the two about who was responsible for the middle eight section of the song that begins in C sharp minor. But regardless of who was responsible for it, it's a gorgeous song, and as all their songs were attributed to Lennon and McCartney. Here's the Beatles, And I Love Her. All right, well, let's talk about the key and chords for And I Love Her. The song is in F sharp minor, or actually the key of E, but the opening chord is F sharp minor, bar chord. I'm going to drop it down a full step so that the opening chord, we're in the key of D, and the opening chord is E minor. Easier to sing, and there might be some advantages to playing it in this key as well. So having said that, going with this key, here are the chords you need for And I Love Her. You need an E minor chord. You need a B minor bar chord. An open G. An open A. You need a D6 chord, which is basically take a normal open D chord and lift off that third finger. Cool chord. You need an F sharp minor chord. And then after we step it up half a step, there's a key change in the middle of the song. We need an F minor bar chord, a C minor bar chord, an A flat bar chord, a B flat bar chord, and an E flat bar chord. You could play the E flat here, just a step up from a D chord with that extra finger, or you could play it here. But because we're in this area, I'm suggesting the E flat bar chord there. And finally, you need an open C chord, the surprise chord at the end of the song. All right, those are the chords you need for And I Love Her. All right, let's talk about the strumming you need throughout the song for And I Love Her. And it's a simple strumming pattern. It's like this. Okay, so it's down, 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 up, down. Notice on that very last, it's down, 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 up, down, up. On that up, that's sort of a transition, and sometimes what I do is I take my fingers off the chord and play open strings there. So it's E minor, and the same thing on the B minor. But that last strum, which is an up strum, is actually on open strings. Transition back from the B minor to the E minor, that last strum is kind of an open. And that's just a kind of little transition thing that I think is part of a neat strumming pattern here. So let's play through a little bit of this and show you that strumming pattern one more time slowly. There's the strumming for And I Love Her. Just one more note on strumming before we head into the intro of the song. The intro's strumming pattern is the same pattern, it's just twice as long. So we do this. So that's instead of... That's for the verse. In the verse, we're switching back quickly from E minor to B minor. In the intro, it's twice as long on each chord. Okay, so let's tackle that intro. First of all, we're picking these notes, an open A, and then 5, 4 on the A string. I'm using my third and second fingers there. And then E minor. Same thing, repeat the same note sequence to the B minor. So that's a very simple intro using okay. All right, well, let's put the chords on the screen and we'll sing along and play through a verse sequence. 1, 2, 3. I give her all my love, that's all I do, and if you saw my love, you'd love her too. I love her. She gives me everything. Okay, let's take a look at that lovely little arpeggio that's played during the second verse, the She Gives Me Everything verse. And we're going to start by barring the 7th fret, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings with our first finger. Then we're going to add our 2nd finger to the 8th fret of the 2nd string, and our 3rd finger to the 9th fret of the 3rd string. So we end up with this chord. And the reason we're barring this, I'll show you in a sec. So down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. 3rd string, 2nd string, up on the 1st, down in the 2nd. That's the pattern, the picking pattern. Then we're going to take those 2 fingers off, the 2nd and 3rd fingers off. Same picking pattern. So it's like this. Back on, back off. See that pattern? The next 2 chords are forming what amounts to a D chord here, D chord shape on the 7th fret, 1st and 2nd fingers on the 7th fret of the 3rd and 1st strings, and 3rd finger on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. Same picking pattern. Slide everything up 2, and then back down to this bar. So we'll just go through that whole sequence slowly. Okay, we're going to take that and put it in picture right now with a playthrough of the intro and the first 2 verses. I give her all my love, that's all I do, and if you saw my love, you'd love her too. I love her. She gives me everything, and tenderly the kiss my lover brings, she Okay, next up is that middle 8 bridge section, and it really just consists of shuttling back and forth between B minor, F sharp minor, and then ends on A chord, and at the end of it, this little intro sequence takes us back into the next verse. Okay, so it's like this. Add a vocal to that.
A love like ours could never die as long as I have you near me. Bright are the stars that shine.
Well, right after the Bright Are the Stars That Shine verse, that's when the song modulates up a half step and goes from E minor to F minor. So really slowly now, here's the chord progression with chords on the screen during the guitar solo, which I'll show you in a moment. So we're coming out of the D6. Okay, the guitar solo. Now we'll do this picture in picture as well, along with those the F minor and C minor chords. But let's walk through this very, very slowly here. So we're on the 4th string, 3rd fret, 3rd finger, open 3rd string, 1st fret, 3rd string, and then 3 and 1 on the 2nd string. Slide up to 4. So review that. So the second half, we just go from same start, we just go from 3 to 1 on the 2nd string, kind of a slide up and then down to 1. So the whole thing, the 2 bits. And then repeat the first part. Okay. And the last little bit, we go from 4 to 1 on the 2nd string, and then 1 on the 3rd string, and then open 3rd string, and then 3rd fret of the 4th string. So just building this as we go here. It's like this so far. Okay, now our last little bit. So we go from the B flat note here, hammer up to C, and then an open G string, 3rd string. And then this very last little bit, we have to change a little bit, modify, we have to play it up an octave, because we don't have that E flat note to play with on the low string now. So the last little bit we play here. And that's just 3rd, open, 3rd, 1st, 3rd. 3rd, open, 3rd, 1st, 3rd. So here's walking you through the whole solo. let's do a playthrough of the guitar solo, picture in picture, coming out of the D6. All right, the final thing to show you is the final verse, which is now we've modulated up. So our lead chord is the F minor chord as we play through that verse. It's what we just played for the guitar solo. Same thing, the backing for the guitar solo, except now we're singing that, repeating that verse, Bright Are the Stars That Shine. So something like this. And then what happens at the very end, of course, we get that surprise chord, but we also get a repeat of the intro, which is now played a little bit differently. Like so, and I'll show you that in a moment. So we're like this. Bright are the stars that shine, dark is the sky. I know this love of mine will never die, and I love her. And now we get to the ending, and we're going to play this. And all I'm doing there is my first fingers across barring the first fret of the 5th and 4th strings. So I pick down on 5, string 5, down on 5, down on 4, and then open up 4. And then that's followed by the F minor chord. And then the C minor. And then back to the F minor. Okay, so isn't that cool? It goes from F minor to C minor, and then the last time to the open C. So let's do a playthrough of that final verse and ending of the song, coming out of the guitar solo. 1, 2.
Bright are the stars that shine, dark is the sky. I know this love of mine will never die, and I love her.
Well, during the background for this song, I mentioned that Paul McCartney thought this was his first success as a ballad writer. What a first success. I mean, in my opinion, almost a masterpiece. I mean, it's a beautiful key to play it in anyway, lots of minor chords for that feel, and then the cool little arpeggio, and then the modulation to another key, along with a gorgeous little simple acoustic guitar solo that picks out the melody of the song, and then that surprise finish. So many neat aspects to this song. I hope you enjoyed your lesson today. And I Love Her by the Beatles. We'll see you next time on Song Mentor.